What is up, Team Boosted? We are back. We finally got our camera back. It took a little bit longer than we expected, but we still got a lot done while we were away.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys up to date on what we've done with the Porsche engine so far, and we have a lot planned for today as well.
Yeah, it might not look like all that much, but the important things like making sure we have everything we need moving forward is all sorted out and out of the way. We'll show you guys, like Devin just said, exactly what we've done and what we have to do moving forward. We are still on track as of right now to get this thing started by the end of the month.
Yeah, so let's check it out.
Okay, starting first on the bottom of the engine, everything is bolted down. Probably the most important part that we have down here is, yes, this is a MIG weld and not a TIG weld. If we had a TIG welder, we would have done it that way, but this came out good. We tested it with some air pressure to make sure that it is leak free, and this is actually an oil return for the turbo.
We also figured out this little thing that we had no idea what it was when we got the exhaust. It's just a gravity drain catch can thing for the turbo there, so hook that up, goes right over here.
Yeah, so after you shut down the car, this continues to drip into here, and it's just like a little reservoir before it finally drains into here. Gravity drains on these cars tend to work pretty well because the oil pump is right below this, so there's some suction, and it seems to pull the oil through. We don't know for sure. We might need to run a scavenge, but this is the simplest way, so we want to try this first.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Moving on, we didn't skimp on the wastegate. This is a towel unit. They are made in the USA. We got a 0.7 bar, so with our high flow, we think that that should be right around 10 pounds, maybe a little bit more because we don't have a lot of, there's not a lot of restriction after the turbo here. We still don't know what we're going to do with the exhaust. We think we're going to do a dual center exit. We still have to figure that out. But all this is bolted down. The bottom of the car is basically done. Gaskets are in here, everything's tight. This is hooked up. You saw in an earlier video that we tapped this. So this is ready to go. The top just sits on atmosphere. Low profile air filter because the other one's too long and it hits the engine tin, which we have to install today.
And while we're over here talking about the turbo, we made a new and improved turbo bracket as opposed to the really ugly, bulky, funky one that was over here.
Yeah, so this is really thick steel, and if you flip the engine over, it actually hangs from this instead of being supported by the bottom ones. And this is nice steel. And we got a new welder. Well, you saw that, but we finally got a tank for the welder. So we've been able to get good penetration on things like that. So huge improvement as far as the mount goes. Okay, up here on the top, the harness has been kind of put where it needs to go. So the left stuff is on the left side, the right stuff is on the right side. This oil line has been finished, so this is the oil feed. We were just talking about the oil drain. This comes down here. I made it a little bit longer because we still don't have the fitting we need for the turbo, but that should be coming in pretty soon. This is obviously JB welded down, but we've also blocked off the cold start valve and plugged it there. It's a little bit more complicated than just removing it. The injector routing for it goes all the way in through this piece, so we'd have to take this apart, and it's just easier just to leave this unplugged and block it off, so that's what we did. The front, really nothing's changed. The turbo's good. Here's that new mount. We replaced this stud with a bolt.
We made this little block off plate here because there was a tube that went there before that we're not going to use.
Yeah, so...
And cooling is very important for this engine.
I'll just take that off real quick.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait. I can't just take it off because this is bolted down too.
Oh, okay, so this is this is bolted down, but there was a tube here, so we made this little plate in, like you can see, if we had a TIG welder, that'd be great, but we didn't do a bad job with the MIG.
Especially because that's super thin metal.
It's not going anywhere. All the oil lines are complete. Let's talk about other things that we've ordered and we're still working on. We got an entirely new clutch. Obviously, we couldn't use the last one. Here's that pressure plate. That bearing shit was a bitch to install.
Yep, that sucked, but we got it done.
A little bit of Scotch-Brite pad to the flywheel. It is still straight, so there's no reason to get it machined. All that does is take material off, and there wasn't any grooves. You can't feel anything with your thumb, so we just scuffed it up with the Scotch-Brite, got rid of all of the old corrosion. This is ready to bolt on. Unfortunately, we don't have the bolts for this. You Porsche guys are going to like this. We got a table jack, so when we put it in the car, it can sit right on this. And look at that. No sketchy, you know, bullshit that we were doing earlier.
Even though that worked fine.
It worked, but this is going to be much simpler, especially since the engine and transmission have to go in together.
Yeah, they have to go in together, so now we have 2 jack points, and as well, placing it down on the headers, you know, we kind of want to disperse weight as best as possible, so this will work pretty good for that.
So as soon as we have those bolts, our old 915 transmission can go in. This is unfortunately not as strong as the 934 speeds, but we can't find a 934 speed that isn't $7,000 or $8,000, and forget about the G50 because that's like $10,000 or $12,000. If anyone has one, they want to give it to us, hit us up. So that's going to bolt right on the back of here. So needless to say, we can't put the engine in today, but we are going to get it off the stand. We're going to put it on the table jack. You can sit down there, and we have some computer stuff to do today.
Yeah, we're going to take out that passenger seat, which is where the computer sits, and put our new computer in there, as well as get the wires going through and over to the engine bay area. We have a few gauges that we're going to see if we can mock up a nice mounting location for those and have those wires head back as well. So all we got to do is connect it all when we put it in.
He's talking, of course, about air-fuel ratio. Extremely important. This is a wideband sensor. It is safely inside of the exhaust. So we have, because it's rear engine, we have like, yeah, sorry if there's a lot of talking, guys, but like we haven't made a video in like a week, so there's a lot of stuff to talk about. All the vacuum lines for the boost gauge and the wideband have to be routed up to the front where we're going to put the gauges. So that kind of creates a little bit of a challenge because you just need so much length of everything.
Yeah, and as well, a few of you guys noticed our completely destroyed CV joints down there. We have ordered those as well, and we can install those at some point this week.
He's talking about those. All the balls fell out of one of them, so it's all fucked up now. All right. This, we have a MSD AMTB or 6MTB or something like that. Basically, it's going to replace this. It's for spark, and that connects to the Blaster 2 coil that we got. Blaster 2. The MTD, if I got that correct, that has boost retarding available. It'll retard timing by 1 to 3 degrees per pound of boost. It's programmable, and it automatically kicks in at 2 psi. So because we are still using a distributor, that's how we're going to control the ignition retard. So
necessary.
Yep. Speaking of the distributor, we got a new distributor drive gear. We have to go to the machine shop tomorrow and get that gear swapped out.
Yeah, it's pressed in there, so we're not doing that ourselves.
And we don't want to ruin the distributor because it's $1,000. I think that's basically everything. As you guys can tell, it's kind of a pain in the ass, you know, with limited tools and resources to build one of these in your garage, but it is possible. You just got to plan ahead, and you may think 30 days is a long time, but it really isn't. We're blowing clean through this month. It's almost the 15th.
Yeah, we are, and luckily we had that week to really gather ourselves and get all that crap that we needed ordered, because that's really what can take the longest time.
Yep.
You get to one point and you find out you don't have something, and now you got to wait a week.
Yeah, and then, you know, if you do have a very small budget, there's an unforeseen couple $1,000s we needed to spend. You know, the MSD box and all that stuff, this tile wastegate, you know, like
The clutch was not cheap either.
These are all like $500, $600 pieces, so, you know, if you're a more budgeted individual, you have to do even more planning and more structuring if you want to get these builds done in time. So fortunately for us, everything is ordered, so we don't need to worry about the money aspect, at least right now. Basically ready to just keep working.
Yeah, let's get at it. Let's get that electrical stuff done.
Okay, so we're sitting here in the front of the Porsche, obviously.
And the 2 gauges we were talking about, the boost and the air fuel, we're looking for spots to mount them. We're thinking that this little cubby right here might not be too bad. So we're going to see about how easy it would be to route the wires back, and see about making a plate for over here to just mount these right in there flush.
Yeah, so we're going to go offset like this. They can't be next to each other because there isn't enough room, but we can make a very simple steel plate, paint it black, put these in, and then we don't have to, you know, like remove the clock from the dash or anything, because we like all the stock things. We like the way it looks. This head unit's pretty awful, but, you know, we could address that later on.
We could fix that later, but it's not the Datsun. We don't want to just start tearing all these nice.
This car, Porsche, even though it has 230,000 miles, the interior is actually
really nice.
Yeah, it isn't bad. There is one small crack in the dash.
Yeah, this guy right there.
but you know, no one really sees that. The door panels are literally perfect. The carpet is perfect.
Driver's seat needs to be reupholstered.
We might just get different seats. We might reupholster these ones. We don't know that. But let's get started taking out the seat that I'm currently sitting on, because this is where the computer goes. Okay, so stock computer is going bye-bye. And there's a lot of trash in here.
Yeah.
Is that all us?
No, there's a bunch of Chuck E. Cheese tokens and shit in there from the previous owner.
Really? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that, Chuck E. Cheese. All right. Yeah. Let's clean this out a little bit and take this shit out. Okay, so we're going off this instruction manual to install the fuel injection. The Mega Squirt is going to sit right here, and the next step is to drill through kind of like the transmission tunnel, if you want to call it that. And his exact wording is, be careful because you don't know what's behind there, and that's true. He used a mirror and a flashlight.
And he drilled his way up here, but this is an enclosed tunnel, so he's sticking like a dental mirror down there and stuff like that. We don't have that stuff. I'm also not confident in just drilling through that. There's a gap in the fuel lines and all the other cables that are running through here right here. So we're gonna drill through here. We're gonna start real small. We're gonna go real slow so we don't just blow through this thing, and just slowly work our way up to the size that we need.
And not try to destroy anything that goes inside of this tunnel, so.
Yeah. This is gonna take a while because we're gonna be extra careful.
At first we were like, you know, damn, I hope this is long enough. I mean, it should be. It's from a kit, right? And then started feeding it through here. It's this one right here. And it turns out they gave you an extra freaking 7 feet.
I think we can make a second wiring harness for this.
We could probably make 2 wiring harnesses out of this. So we're good. That's through there.
Yeah, more than enough.
Now the vacuum line goes, and then we got to squeeze the air fuel gauge and the vacuum gauge for the vacuum line for the vacuum gauge or boost gauge. So many gauges and vacuum shit. Yeah. It's all got to come through, and then we can make our mounting plate for the gauges.
A few more things we got to shove through those holes.
So we got our vacuum lines and you know, the wideband and stock harness. Well, not stock harness, aftermarket harness. It's been a long day, sorry. Those are all routed up through the front. We're gonna move on to making our plate to mount the gauges. We want to not destroy the interior of this car, as we suggested earlier. So we're gonna make a plate that mounts the gauges, and around the border of this, we're just gonna secure it with Velcro, so we don't actually have to destroy anything mounting this. You know, it could be easily removed in the future for whatever reason that might be, but we just want to not drill into as many surfaces as possible. So we're gonna make it so only a small hole needs to be made in the back, and the plate can be mounted with Velcro. And all this stuff's going onto the seat. So this is covered by that, I'll just show you, by this. And we can just drill the port we need through this and just run it under the carpet, and you won't even know it's there.
Yeah, there's some wires back here we gotta pull to the side before drilling through, but
it's very unlike drilling metal.
It's real easy.
It's rated X. That means you're extra, extraordinary.
about to put this in and it's sticking to my fingers and it's been an hour and a half, but that's because it's probably getting close to around 50 degrees and we're in danger of not getting this done before daylight runs away from us because it's winter and it's like, it's getting there. So I guess we're just gonna stick this in the oven. I don't know.
That's our best solution that we've come up with so far. What are you doing here? Come on, get back in there.
Do I bake or broil it?
Definitely bake it, don't broil it.
Don't broil it? Probably melt it. Alright, so we'll do, I don't know, 350 like bread or 400 like it?
Nah, do it like bread. I don't know, 400. Screw it, who cares?
Yeah, it's just, what if it lights on fire?
Well, I mean, it's going to be in there through the whole preheating process, so it's probably good.
Okay, so literally waiting for paint to dry. This is sick. We might repaint it, cough cough, because it might have gotten a little fucked up because we're impatient. But
You
this
guys
is
aren't supposed to notice.
this is proof of concept, guys. Okay. Does shifter get in the way? Like, sit like you're driving it. I mean, if you need to see, you can see.
Yeah, no, it's just shifter's a little bit in air fuel on the way in first, but you shift your head side to side and you can see it fine.
Yeah, that ain't bad. It's pretty discreet. So, all the wires are gonna run out that hole on the side, and then this cover goes over it, so you're not gonna be able to see that.
They'll run under the carpet along here, and then just follow these wires all the way back and right out that way.
At a daylight, I mean, it doesn't look like it, but yeah, in the next, like, I don't know, 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's going down.
We have stuff we need to fix the Datsun too, forgot about that. But we really need to get this thing running like we said we would, so.
Yeah, top priority right here, but we do have the wires for the Datsun, so can mess around with that one.
Okay, so today we got the seat out, we got the computer mounted, we got those gauges pretty much exactly where we want them to be. What else?
All the wires ran back this way that need to get run back this way.
Okay, so we're really just waiting on the flywheel bolts, then we can put the engine in the car and then start hooking this all up. So like we said, we got like 2 weeks to finish out vacuum and wiring, and should be plenty of time.
Yeah, well, by the end of this week, we'll definitely have the motor inside it, and then it's just a matter of plugging all the wires together and seeing if we anything up.
It's true, yeah. Garage built Porsche. I think we are wrapping this one up now. Basically just an update video with a little bit of side work done.
What about a fuel pump and fuel pressure regulator?
It's got 2 fuel pumps. Those are new. Remember we had an issue with those?
Oh yeah. What about the regulator?
The regulator I can get on eBay. Get the same one that's in the Datsun that works great. So we're gonna get the same one.
Should do that sooner than later, then.
Yeah, no, those come in quick. Alright guys, it feels good to be back, even though for us, we never actually left. We've been working on the Porsche this entire week, but we have our camera back, which is cool. So, I think we're on track. I don't know what you guys think, but we got a fair amount done.
Yeah, I think we got this in the bag.
It's just, if it actually starts, it's a whole other thing. I guarantee we'll be able to turn the key and try. So if it doesn't work, it's not for lack of trying, it's because something's wrong. But we will at least attempt to first start it by the end of the month. That's totally within the scope of possibilities. How do we do this now? Oh yeah, it's been a while. We're going to pick a winner for the giveaway. If you guys are new to the channel, we give away products from boostedshades.com every single video. All you have to do to win is like, subscribe, and comment. Sometimes we have questions for you guys at the end of the videos. Got an interesting one for this one. Sort of a development that happened over the time that we didn't have the camera.
Alright, so for this video, the winner is Hansel Chavez Ferreira.
You
probably completely butchered that.
Up. You can hit us up at Teamboosted at boostedshades.com or through any of our social media platforms. We'll get back to you and ship you your prize. Like I said, like, subscribe, and comment. Comments don't have to be related to anything. You can comment whatever you want. That's all you have to do to be eligible. But we are going to ask you guys a question at the end of this one, which is right now. We met with a gentleman about wrapping the Porsche. We found somebody who does really good work, And as soon as it runs, we've made arrangements to go get some things measured, and we're pretty, we have an idea of what color we wanted, but we wanted to ask you guys just in case you guys can change our mind.
So this video's question is, what color vinyl wrap would you like to see on the Porsche?
Yeah, that's it. So like, subscribe, comment that, or comment whatever the hell you want, and you are eligible to win, and that is it for this one.
As always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.